On the table, I've got myself an Huawei Y7, which is a relatively straightforward fix. First thing you'd want to do is take out the SIM tray. And I did have a bit of a case of deja vu working on this one. I worked on a Nova 3E only 2 days ago, and the disassembly process was almost identical. So once you get the SIM tray out, you should be able to use a pry tool to get into the phone itself. You don't have to use a ridiculous amount of force. It isn't stuck in or taped or glued or anything like that. Just clips around the outer perimeter. And once you've finally got the back off it, now I will apologise for my poor lighting. My LED power strip wall adapters failed on me, so currently I've got no lighting on the workbench for a little while. And here there's two brackets, one that goes over the display flex cable, a single Phillips head screw, and then two on the right hand side which goes over the battery connector, and also the daughter board which goes down to the charge port and the loudspeaker. So what you want to do is disconnect those three cables, preferably battery first, just in case. I'm just using a pair of tweezers to lift that up, just makes it nice and easy for me. And I don't have much of a fingernail. And once you've got them all disconnected, I would recommend temporarily connecting the new screen up, just to make sure it's not faulty, even though it's brand new. The chance of failure from some of these new parts seems to be silly or kind of high in some regards. Anyway, I'll make sure I get a picture on here, and then I'll disconnect the battery once more, disconnect the screen, and then proceed with the full install. So the battery itself, you might need to use a couple of different pry tools to lift it up. I'm using a thin pry tool to begin with. There is two adhesive strips, so I'll work with that, and then I'll get my larger one. This one's too large. I'll get my medium-sized pry tool and continue prying until the battery's out. Success there, I've got the battery out, and as you can see in the middle there, the LCD flex connector is going through. I'm going to fast forward the video. I have stuck it on heat for about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to use my medium-sized pry tool, or you could use a flathead screwdriver, to try and push the screen out from the inside. This does have a little bit of success. There is a few glass shards I do need to clean up afterwards, but I think this is probably the swifter method. As long as your frame of your phone isn't bent, cracked, or chipped, because it will put a bit of strain on that as you're pushing it out. I think I've got most of the shards out. I'm close to. I always like to go over the body of the phone with just a toothbrush, just to make sure any small fragments might be completely gone. Now on to the next process, which will be putting down some adhesive on the outer perimeter of the screen. I do use the clear tape on the top and bottom. Up the top there's also a color LED notification, which I would recommend not to cover that up. It doesn't really matter if you do, but you would lose that function. And then on the sides of this one I do use a black, or just black adhesive. And with that, it should hopefully stop LED light bleed coming out the side if the screen isn't fully stuck down. So from here I'll keep putting down the tape. The tape is stuck down, time to feed the screen through and make sure it sticks nice and perfectly. As long as the body of the phone or the frame of the phone is nice and straight without any chips or dents, the new screen should stick relatively well without popping out or anything silly. If it does pop out, you might have to file off that bit of plastic in that area to make it sit flush. But from here on out, it's just a simple reassembly. Connect the LCD, connect up the battery, connect up the daughter board flex cable, put your two shields back over the cables. I am feeding the cable up so it's flat here. It will make there is a bit of adhesive to push down on the LCD flex connector to hold it in that position. Anyway, I'll proceed with the reinstall and I'll catch you in the next one. Good luck.